Live.
And we're live. What's up, guys?
Look at the forecast. Saturday looks very wet, and Sunday looks just like last race day, sunny and cold.
Perfect conditions for RGB racing.
Welcome to Beyond the RC Grid. Paul, good to see you. RGB shooting his shot right out of the gate with the weather report. Good to see you.
Beyond the Grid.
I'm digging the shirt.
I'd like to thank the ladies at Pins and Needle Club. Edna and Cinnamon with an S sent me this shirt for this season. So I told them I'd wear it my first opportunity.
Well, we're glad you did. So back to the weather. Whether we race or not, it's too cold for Rick. We know that. Unless he's... Should we put a coffee can out and take donations or start a GoFundMe for a snowmobile suit for Rick?
We might have to.
I don't think I could wear any more layers than I had on. That's the most clothes I've had on in quite some time.
You know, Rick,
It's a challenge. It's a challenge.
What we can do is set you up in the trailer. We'll put a camera on your car so that you have like the windshield view, and you can drive from the trailer. We'll set a gaming wheel up and get you going that way.
I wouldn't mind that if my racing stand would get upgrade like the announcer stand. You know, that I think that'd be I think that'd be a reasonable request to build a little shack there with a sliding window, and I could have that and put a heater in there and air conditioning just like across the way. And
consider it done. All that takes is a hunting tent.
Think you'd drive any worse driving out of your trailer?
We'll get to that. There was a moment we definitely have to talk about. But I did not tell you guys the name of the show tonight. The name of the show, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, is Who Let the Dogs Out? Are we talking about dirt dogs, or are we talking about furry friends? Stay tuned. So we've got that. We'll check in with all of our sponsors, you know, City Chevrolet and W Energy and a few others. So yeah, sponsors, we'll check in with all them. We'll talk to Rick. Rick looks like he landed a sponsor on the wall. Sabotage, is that a reference to the Beastie Boys, or is that something else you want to talk about now?
I mean, whenever you're comfortable, you're running the agenda. Now I'm just I'm here to cooperate.
Let's get into it. Let's keep it tight.
Well, as you can see, this week I am sponsored by Sabotage. I had high hopes for 2026 season with Rulin Racing. The first race last Saturday, they had the full crew out there. I can't only have to watch out for Paul, then I have to watch out for his diabolical brother, Jim, who plays it off like he's a happy-go-lucky guy until you get in front of him on the track, and then all bets are off. But as the two of you know, over the winter, I rebuilt the best of my ability, which isn't extreme. My short course late model. I've got a new body and new shocks and a few other things. And with the weather the way it is, I didn't have a chance to practice or do any track time at all. So I thought it'd be a good idea for at least the first race for me to put that into the novice class. I thought that'd be a good idea. Being a novice, because I'm a novice class with that brand new setup and car. But rural racing, didn't think it was a good idea. Wouldn't let me do it. He said, if you're racing more than one car, you've been out there for a while, you shouldn't be in the novice class. But then, to my dismay, I see him teaming up with another race team and encouraging them to run multiple cars, one in the novice class. Sabotage.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Although my nephew Noah did run the novice class. So he came up to me right before the race, and he asked if RGB was going to be running in the novice class. After watching you run your car for 3 years now, he thought you might belong down in the novice class, because even the novice class people could keep their cars on all 4 tires and not airborne. So Is that conclude your sponsorship announcement? Because I have an announcement to make.
Oh yeah, we're keeping it tight.
What do you got, Paul?
Rick, you can't have all the fun here, with these sponsorship announcements. So I was actually very impressed by your driving skills for a portion of the day on Saturday. And I'd like to introduce to everybody, make sure everybody can see this here. You see that all right? RGB Racing on Saturday, they gained a fan. Everybody see that? You see it all right, Eric? I can't see my screen.
Yep.
But
looks
it looks
good.
like it's
Perfect.
pretty lined up there. So every time that Rick was out on the track, there was a dog there, and he was just cheering and cheering and cheering for RGB Racing. So I was just ecstatic about that, and thought that I would let the viewers see that you had a new fan.
Well, I agree, and I think Nightcrawler can back me up. There is nothing more pleasant than a few dogs barking insistently at the racetrack. It adds a nice flavor to the day. Maybe we can have a sponsorship of the local kennel or something along those lines.
I can arrange that with my wife.
Oh yeah, that's true. Mrs. Nightcrawler does have a connection, so maybe we can have her start bringing out the dogs and just chain them up and just let them bark throughout the day.
All we got to do is bring my little Archie, my Frenchie, and you haven't heard barking until you've seen this dog around people.
You know what, Rick? Wait a minute. After listening to what you just said about them consistently cheering, come to think of it, never mind. They were cheering for everybody the whole day. They weren't just cheering for you. So you did not gain a new fan.
Well, I thought I was the only one that noticed the dogs barking. You two noticed? Let me tell you a story. This is a good segue. So 15 years ago, it was a long time ago, I stopped up at my dad's cottage, somewhat unannounced, on a Saturday. And I didn't go to the cottage much. I let them enjoy the cottage. That was their cottage. I tried not to hamper their weekends. But I had a little dog with me. And this thing you could carry around in your arms. And the day was normal. The dog, I kept it outside. But when I went to leave, my dad pulled me aside and said, "Hey, next time leave the dog at home." And I said, "What?" He goes, "We have a dog. One's enough." So that was his way of saying he didn't appreciate me bringing the dog. So my father's no longer around, but we sure could have used him Saturday, because I don't know that dogs barking at any event like that is acceptable. And I'm not throwing shots at anybody, but if you're gonna bring your dogs, they should probably not be barkers. And if they're barkers, you should probably sit with them and comfort them the whole time. But that's just my life advice on owning dogs. I don't know how you guys felt.
They were just scared of RGB the whole time, and that's why they were barking.
Well, he did not have those glasses on, so moving
I never
along.
heard you this quiet before, Rick.
Just listening to, I don't need to. I gave my input on the K9, situation. It's maybe only we're the only three that noticed it probably out there. So
listen, I'm not going to say their names, but there were two guys pitting at the far, which would be the close end towards the dogs. They were pitting under the canopy closest to the dogs, and I just was waiting all day for them to pack up and leave, but it didn't happen. Well, anyways, we're not picking on anybody, but it was a little much.
Not everybody, sometimes you just don't know. You don't know, and now hopefully everybody knows that it might not just be a good idea. So,
well, probably after this podcast, they'll bring the dogs to every event. Oh,
Biggest fans.
What is it? Is it trazodone? I mean, there's a medicine these dogs can take. I mean, slip one in those treats you give them and put them things to sleep for 6 hours. Do everybody a favor. But
I think Rick had used up all the peanut butter, so we couldn't feed him treats.
I've already made that joke, and it got cut from last week. So,
we'll leave that one in. This is that's a good
absolutely. One. And is it Jiffy, or who we using?
Ask Rick.
Skippy?
It's his peanut butter.
I prefer Jif. If I'm going
Jif?
to peanut butter.
You mean Jiffy? So
Either way.
Paul, what Rick's saying is he's high class peanut butter guy.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, what a start to the show.
Just like that shirt of his. I mean, if anything screams high class to me, it is that sunglass shirt combo that he's got going on.
Oh my gosh. I did an opening for this show, and I let everybody know that it's the Seinfeld of RC racing, and we're definitely living up to that.
You're not lying. You are not lying. We got to keep the 14 viewers happy.
That's right. And don't let me forget lap 14. We're going to check in with everybody on lap 14.
Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
So, I talked a little bit in the opening about my cars. Rick, I also had a new car for this weekend. I threw the short course modified down with my fresh build, and the one thing I did wrong was I kept the shocks that RGB gave me, and they caused me a lot of problems. So I had to yank the front shocks off, put some different shocks on, and put the wrong springs on. That was a nightmare. I went out. I raced well and stayed out of everybody's way. I was slow. I couldn't turn the thing. It was like a dump truck. I mean, no matter what I did, I couldn't get the thing to rotate in the corners. But the heat where I was real bad, I was so soft that if I made any moves on the car, it was so soft that I just couldn't get it where I wanted it. It just went out of control. So I almost pulled the car. I didn't. And I basically wrecked somebody. Somebody ran me over for good reason, because I was just being stupid out there. But I was trying to get out of his way if I'm recalling it correctly, but the way I did it was inappropriate and just a dumb move. But I had to go make apologies to somebody again. Getting pretty good at this apology thing. But
Yeah, shout out to T Hammer 37. You were missed on Saturday. We really could have used some video evidence.
Yep,
Thank you for all you
definitely.
do for the RC community at TARCAR.
Yep.
I
We're
just,
gonna
I
have
just
to get some.
wonder. I wonder, when it's that cold, because it was below 50 most of the day. If that, how much of an impact that does have on, the track or the way the cars are handling, in general. I'm sure it has some impact, but I'm just curious versus those 90-degree days that are coming up.
Oh, a lot.
Just
So Rick, I learned that a few years ago when I was racing up at Sandpit off road in the winter. A couple guys explained all that to me. The oil alone in your shocks does not work the same. So I mean, when you're talking about 50-degree, sometimes more, but there's easily a 50-degree swing in oil temperature. That's a big one. So you got to kind of compensate for that and run the right oils. Maybe change your pistons out to get some more oil movement. There's a lot that comes into play for that. I used to laugh when I first started. People were shooting temps on the track and this and that, but it all comes into play. Like those fast guys, I don't have to worry about it, but the fast guys, they're chasing tenths. So like for off-road, if you gain a tenth on a corner and there's 12 corners on that track, you are substantially faster than somebody. So, oval, maybe not so much, but you still got four turns. So I don't know. I don't know a lot about that with the oval cars. We probably could talk to some of the gatekeepers and see what they've got to say about it and if they compensate for colder temperatures. I'm sure for certain events they would. But hey, real quick before I get too far off track about my short course modified. So the person I wrecked, and we'll talk about it later, ended up winning the A main, which I was super happy to see. Because essentially it made me feel like I didn't ruin his day. So I was glad to see that. And we don't see those racers very often. I think they live further away. Rules. Let's talk about rules real quick. You up for that?
Yep. Sounds good.
So, Paul, do you want to clarify a couple of the mistakes that were on the rules while I pull them up?
Yeah, we found it was just more or less a autocorrect issue for the Traxxas slash modified. It's instead of saying mud plugs or wheel covers, it said wheel doors are okay. So someone asked in the TARCAR Facebook Oval fans, and we found out what the issue was, and you went ahead and corrected it. So
yeah, autocorrect hates me. It was supposed to say wheel dots, and it autocorrected to doors. So I must have fat fingered something. But anybody listening that sees something in question, just let us know. We'll update the rules. Let me share this screen. So as you can see at the top here, the way I'm going to handle the updates for any rules changes is I will date it and I will state what the change was. So in this case, Traxxas wheel doors typo to wheel dots, aka covers. So nothing big at all, but while we're talking about this was sort of our goal when we talked to Steve about rules. So it was brought to my attention that the GLLS, which is coming, May 30th to TARCAR,
Yes.
changed their rules mid-series. Let me see if I can find it.
Well, there's a little bit of potential that they did not, that they changed it right before the season started. I guess someone must have clarified. I saw a post earlier and they clarified and said, we're just reminding everyone
Oh,
that these are the rules. But yeah, it was something to do with the crater. Something to do with motors, I believe. Motor ESC combos or something like that.
I wonder if they take that down?
I think you just had it. I think it was up right there. Is that not it right there? That post?
I don't think this is the one.
I know if you go to the TARCAR oval, I think Staler posted it in there. If not, he posted it on the other TARCAR Facebook page.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal. But like we discussed in our last episode, if we can prevent people from spending $150 on tires that they're not allowed to run, for instance, that'd be a great thing. So I was working today when I saw that, so I didn't really read the whole thing, but it looked to me like they had changed the rules going forward. So maybe that's not the case. I apologize if I misspoke. So, let's pull TARCARs up real quick, see what that says so we can clarify. I don't want to misspeak on anything.
Rick's mic's giving a lot of feedback.
Yeah, there's a weird high pitch background noise. I don't know if you've got your volume turned up really high. You got a fan blowing on you?
What about now?
You got a heater on you?
I have everything quiet in the house. How's it sound now?
It sounds good. What'd you do?
I just did some IT, some behind the scenes IT work. Always working. Always working.
You know what IT stands for?
Terrestrial?
Is that your favorite movie?
Scary. Too scary for me.
Scary. All right. So Saturday, I enjoyed the day. The weather was great. We had a novice class. There's a few new faces. I guess relatively new. There was a few spectators. There was some food available to us, which thank you, Steve and Amy. I thought it went really smooth. I mean, Casey ran a tight ship. The announcing was phenomenal. I'd prefer he wouldn't call my name out when I'm racing. I do.
The announcer's curse?
Well, I actually
put me into the wall on one time also. Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that. Rick, you were in a battle. You wanna set the stage here before I rip on you?
No, I mean I am in general. I don't have any criticisms for the booth up there. In 2 years, this is our third season out there. The three of us. This is the Saturday was the best, without a doubt, running of a race day. In my opinion. Market improvements in the flow of the day. So, I'm not gonna do any complaining about the announcing. I hope that he gets out there as much as he feels comfortable, because he knows he knows everybody that's racing out there, and he makes a pleasant experience for us all. But yeah, I was in a battle a few times, and I can't blame anybody but myself for being distracted, which came right after an announcement with my name on it. Yeah, so, but that's my my responsibility.
You know, maybe Casey likes hot dogs, and maybe we could hook him up with some Rudy's every time he's announcing, and maybe that'll be a little incentive.
I wouldn't have an issue supporting that approach for sure.
Whatever he wants. But speaking of Rudy's, after the break, we'll nominate a person or event from the track Saturday to get an award, the first Rudy's award, and we'll announce that after the break. Again, to recap, those awards are just for fun, for people that have something happen to them, good or bad, or special circumstances, whatever. We'll nominate somebody and we'll bless them with a plaque when they come in. The plastic PVC plaques like behind you, Paul.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, I was going to use Rick. Rick, but all I see is a sabotage poster.
Yeah, I'm running out of room back here.
Yeah. Well, you are the best oval driver ever.
That's what baby. That's what I hear. That's what I hear from him every chance he has.
Yeah. But let me pull this up. I'll get it ready while we're talking about giving plaques away. We might as well stay on that topic because, Paul, you got a big announcement. Is that correct?
Are we talking about the GLSS?
Yep. Let's talk about that for the I'll let you take it away from here, but let's talk about that while I'm pulling this up and I'll find them.
Okay. Yeah, you do your thing finding them. I know our 14 viewers are on the edge of their seats right now, waiting with bated breath to see the unveiling of the second place trophy for the GLSS TARCAR house class of box stock LOSI sprint cars.
All right. I've got it ready.
You got second place ready?
I got second place ready.
Second place, a company founded in 1920 by Rudy Patoridis, with 6 locations in the Toledo, Ohio area, serving some of the best all-around comfort food anyone could ask for, and a proud sponsor of the Beyond the RC Grid podcast. Second place trophy will be the Rudy's Chili Dog, second chili dog of the day. Just like Lay's potato chips, you can't eat just one.
Here it is.
Is in all its glory.
Yep. Second place, second chili dog of the day. You will take that home. Incentive to race hard in podium. Bring your LOSI Sprint, get on the podium, and take home a second place chili dog trophy. And we're working on a few other things, so stay tuned. That's all I'm going to say. Second place, Paul.
Second place. Are we going to give the fans what they want?
What do you think they want? What do you want, Rick?
I think, like I mentioned last time, I think versus trying to place, on top of the podium with the sponsorships, I think people are going to be racing for the trophy. They want more than for winning first. That might not be the desire of most people. Somebody might want that second place trophy more than they would want the first, or somebody that really likes that Coors Light.
You haven't seen the first place trophy.
I'm just saying, or someone that's made a lifetime devotion to Coors Light, they may want to pull back and bring her in for that third place situation. I think these trophies are so unique and desirable. I think they're more desirable than than the actual winning the race. It's the trophies that people are going to be fighting over. That's going to be the uniqueness to what we're doing here with this.
Well, I can
approach that we've
attest
taken.
that Paul set it up correctly where what you just said isn't going to be true because they're going to want the first place trophy. Paul put a lot of thought into this, and he knew someone like you would come along with that thought process. So he made the first place trophy very desirable.
Well, that's that. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I wouldn't want to make any predictions based on Ruland's history, but we'll see.
All right. Well, we'll
give credit.
see
I'll give
maybe
credit.
next episode. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'll give credit where credit's due. I'm going to keep an open mind to
I
this.
say give the fans what they want. The fans want to see that first place trophy.
Gotta wait.
Oh,
I gotta wait.
O-
And just
only
long
if,
up.
only if Eric has it ready to go.
I got it ready.
All right. The
Hold
award everyone has been waiting for. First place, founded in 1950 by Bob Newton and his wife Joyce. This is the premier sprint car tire manufacturing company based out of Plymouth, Indiana. First place, Hoosier Daddy, the Hoosier Tire Award.
That's right.
Right there, Rick. What do you think of that bad boy?
Bragging rights of Who's Your Daddy Forever for the inaugural Beyond the RC Grid trophy, LOSI trophy race. I like it. Paul came up with that. That was just an incredible idea. And, that looked good in my room. I know that. But we'll see.
Also, that the LOSI sprint cars come with Hoosier tires on them. So,
That is
little
correct.
homage to LOSI also.
Yep. So, Rick, take a good look at this. First place, Hoosier Daddy, Beyond the RC Grid, LOSI Sprint TARCAR 2026. What do you think?
I appreciate the imagination of all three trophies. That is definitely it's a nice play on words, and I think someone will be more than happy to take that home. But we still at least I will account for personal preferences. You don't know where somebody's heart is, and we'll see what happens on race day. We could have I could be predicting someone's holding that first place all the way down to the last lap, and then pulls it up right on turn 4 and brings it in at second or third, depending on what they want. Or maybe they're holding first place, and Casey says their name, and they hit the wall and bring it in at fifth or sixth place. So, either way.
Well, I don't know if you can see this, Rick, but Hoosier's got a line of products for tire cleaning and shining, and it's called Who's Your Daddy? Pretty
They've
slick,
got a whole car. It's a whole car care. There's cleaner, degreaser, tire dressing. There's all sorts of stuff.
Yep. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. We're going to do it again next year. I don't care.
I think it represents what we're doing. We're putting some interest, just besides a 1, 2, 3 on the trophies. We're putting some interest on them, and that's anybody's going to be happy to have any of those three in their collection. So,
yep.
Well, I was literally shocked, and Eric, you will have to confirm this when we get to the point of race results, but I was absolutely shocked. I believe we had 16 LOSI sprints show up on Saturday. We'll have to check the other classes, but that may be the highest car count class for the race. We'll have to look into it when we go to the race results.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, they put a couple poles up at TARCAR, so they're going to have lights. And I'm going to say it again. I think the LOSI Sprint, at least once a month, when the lights go up, should have a race night under the lights. And, that's not up to me, but I watch that stuff on YouTube, and the night racing looks so fun. And LOSI is it's the biggest class at the track. So,
Yeah, I had a blast at Dirt Devil racing under the lights for the
yeah, absolutely.
Great Lakes series.
So I'll tell you, if that happens, I'll buy another LOSI. I sold mine. You heard the story last episode. If you didn't, go back and watch it. But I sold mine to 40 Grit, aka Triple S. And Paul let me run his this weekend, and I did really well. I talked about it in the opening a little bit. I won 2 heats. I took a second, so I ran up front the whole day. I started second in the A main, and that's where the good news ends. So I had a lot of fun, but yeah, night racing, I'll be all over that. So that's where we're at with the trophies. And if you're from outside of the area, we'd like to see you bring your LOSI. If you're coming to the GLLS and you've got a LOSI Sprint and it's not going to impede your points racing by running another class, bring your LOSI Sprints. Let's see how many we can get. Maybe we'll have too many. Who knows if that's possible. But we want to do this every year. Help us kick off this first round with a bang, and then it'll help us with momentum going forward, because we've got some ideas of how we want to handle this with sponsors and stuff for the next year. So a good turnout would be good for Steve, the track, us, and that whole group, that whole class. So I'm looking forward to it. May 30th, TARCAR, Toledo, Ohio. Be there.
Yeah.
Compete. So that's where we're at with that. And that's a lot of RC stuff about nothing, if you ask me. I mean, we should have a different slogan, Paul.
Let's get down to that meat and potatoes. We got to have a nice little racers recap of this first race of the year. Just so happened to be a trophy race. Nothing better than bringing those new cars out and trying to get them dialed in for a trophy race.
Yeah. Well, let's take a halftime break. We'll hear from those guys and W Energy and Rudy's Hot Dog. All right, we're back. So here we are. We're going to do our Rudy's Award. It's the first ever Rudy's Award. Paul, why don't you take it from here? Award who we have selected, and when it's ready, I'll bring it on screen, and then when it comes in, we'll hand it off to him, and he can hang it on his wall and remember the podcast about nothing.
I like it.
That's right.
We took a lot of thought going into this, and I think all three of us kind of agreed we would like to award the announcer at TARCAR who's been announcing the races. We've only been out there, this is our 3rd year. He came back, he said he's not going to be at every race, he's going to make as many of them as he can. And this is going to be the Rudy's Cup of Joe Award. because everybody knows the warm cup of Joe. Everybody knows, most people, you know, when they wake up in the morning, they got to have that cup of Joe to get going. And Casey is everyone's cup of Joe when we get to the track. He keeps everybody in line and he gets the party started. So that's why we've got the Cup of Joe award for Casey from Beyond the RC Grid at Rudy's Hot Dog.
That's right, Rudy's. They do breakfast, not just hot dogs. So yeah, Casey, all kidding aside, you run a tight ship. We like having you there. So we're not trying to bring any attention to you, but this is our way of telling you that we appreciate the sacrifice you make, because it's a long day. You don't get to race. I've seen you race oval, not a lot. You race a lot of off-road, but maybe we could get someone to sit in for him if he wants to race oval a little bit and still do some booth work. I don't know. We'll have to ask him.
I like it.
So yeah, we'll see.
We got a couple, R&D cars. Maybe we throw them in one of those.
There you go. I've got a car laying around. Trust me. I think he's got stuff too. But yeah, so that's the gist of things. Those are the type of awards that we're going to give out. Nothing that's going to embarrass anybody, nothing that's going to diminish anybody's accomplishments. All positive vibes. Our sense of humor isn't for everybody, but the awards are definitely on the positive side of the day. So even if you have something unfortunate happen to you, you get an award based on that event, the awards to be in a positive light. So that's it. I appreciate it, Phil from Rudy's, allowing us to do this. It means a lot. So we'll keep doing it this way. After every halftime show, we'll give out the awards and see how it's received. So, all right. Where we at, Paul? What segment is this?
I think we're on we're going to do a quick rundown of the races from the first trophy race of the year.
We'll do the A mains. I'll do a split screen. You won't be able to see it on your phone, so I'll just talk through it. But the mains from Saturday from the trophy race at TARCAR. Race 1, box stock sprint C main. There it is. Triple S, formerly known as Triple S 40 grit, takes the win. I watched him. I actually coached him when he was racing. He probably hated it. I was in his ear for this race and his next race. Him and Dean, I believe, bumped up. John, Ben's dad, took third. Mark took fourth. Forrest took fifth. And Don Johnston broke his car, I believe. Right, Paul?
Yes.
Okay.
40 grit was running the alphabet soup. It was just like running the chili bowl.
Let's check on 40 grit on his 14th lap. We can't do everybody, but we'll just do the winners.
Who was okay? Where was he at on the 14th lap? Was he in the lead yet?
No, he was in second place. He ran an 8.533 second lap. He was on a 30-lap pace at 4:27. So he didn't take the lead until lap 20. So that's the lap 14 update for your winner, Triple S, aka 40 grit. So that was the C main. Second race, 10 scale late model B main. And a lot of fast guys, Chris, Frank, Michael Barnes, Cody. I met Cody. Shout out to Cody. He came over and checked out the trailer. He's from Hillsdale. He's a younger kid. Very nice kid. I tried to pay attention. He had, I think, 3 cars there that day. If I may be wrong, or he switched a body, but he was there, came down from Hillsdale. Nick, James, and Scott. So a lot of fast guys in this B main. I don't know if Chris had some problems earlier in the day, but let's see who won. Yeah, Chris wins it. Frank takes second. No surprises here. no surprises there. Cody took third. 40 Grit takes fourth. Nick, James, and Michael Barnes round out the top 7. Michael must have had some problems. So let's check on Chris Keller's laps and see where he was at. Rick, what lap are we checking?
14.
Oh my God, he's not sleeping, Paul. At 14, Chris was in first place. It looks to me as though he started and finished in first place, and he did. Lap 14, he ran a 6.9 second lap. He was on a 30 lap pace. His fast lap was lap 29 right at the end for a 6.6. Man, he ripped that lap. So Chris Keller wins that. Obviously goes to the A main. Oh, let's see. Street Stock B main, race number 3. Tyler, James, Dennis G, Cody's in this one, Michael Barnes, and Jerry Steele. Tyler Stuck wins it. I think I did hear this in the trailer. He starts first, he ends first, so he runs the whole race up front. So obviously he's in first place on lap 14 where he runs a 7.8. His fastest lap was on lap 4, 7.6. Pretty good lap for Tyler. Michael Barnes took second. James, Dennis, Jerry, Cody. So Cody was 5 laps down. He must have had a problem. I think Tyler and Michael bumped up. We'll check them out in the next street stock race. Race 4, box stock sprint B main. Donnie, Bob, David, Brian. I don't know who Brian is. I'm drawing a blank on that. Do you know who that is, Paul?
Yes, remember we were introduced to him. He runs off-road. He just started running.
Yeah.
He was running Steve Brummett's LOSI sprint. Steve loaned it to him.
Okay.
He spent the day over at Steve's trailer. He also was running the sky. When we were looking at the sky, we saw that was his machinery up there with his
that drone.
The drone.
Yeah, that was his.
Yeah. So yeah, Brian was in it. Gil, Scott, and Dean. Scott was bumped up from the C main running my old sprint, which is fast. I'm probably an idiot for selling it. Let's see how Scott did.
It's a lot faster when the dog bones aren't bent.
That's what I hear. Scott pulls it out. He gets the bump at second. Donnie wins it.
A little luck didn't hurt anybody. Scott got a little gift there. I felt bad for Bob Trout. He
if I remember that correctly,
it was an unfortunate incident where I believe one of the cars that was kind of in the back of the race ended up wiping poor Bob out, who I believe was either leading it or was in second place.
Well, let's look. He was in second.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we need some video evidence. So Scott gets the bump. Donnie gets the win. Let's check on Donnie's lap 14 for our 14 subscribers. For anybody that doesn't know what the significance of 14 is, on my YouTube, well, I changed it now, but I still have the picture. On the picture of Toledo, there was a picture of Toledo as my header for my YouTube page. It's a picture I took when I was on a building down by Fifth Third Field. And when I posted that picture, there were 14 subscribers. So if you're still watching, like and subscribe and get that number up, and we'll keep you updated to where it's at. Maybe it's changed. It's not 14 anymore, but maybe in the big heats, the significance of our subscribers will be the race lap that we review. What do you think?
I like it.
Another nuance of a podcast about nothing.
That was Donnie the Crusher Krskowski took the win, correct? Beautiful. Good job.
The Crusher wins it. Lap 14th. He ran it. Look at first to first, start to finish. He was in first place. So
look at him go.
Lap 14, he is obviously in first place. So Crusher was dialed in. Good job, Crusher. All right. Race 5, Spectraxis Modified B Main. So Bob, Dale, Dean, Mark, Richard Biggins, John Johnston, and Gene Greer. Rick, any last words before we announce the winner?
It's freezing cold.
Yes, you were. Dale Stevens pulls out the win. Rick, you had a little crowd going for you in this race, didn't you?
Besides the
that was
dogs?
that was a good race. I'm not trying to flex anymore. But I was in position to to take first place in that race until the voice in the sky put out a little warning that said, "Hey, you guys are getting a little racy." A little racy out front there. So I took that to heart and just backed off and accepted that second place because we both get the bump. So in that case, there's no sense to get racy when the top two go forward.
Well,
So,
lap 14, the significance of lap 14. Lap 13, you were in second place. Lap 14, you were in first place. You held first place for 3 laps, which is about your attention span for racing, 3 seconds. So you went right back to second place in lap 17,
yeah,
but
that's
you
when,
somehow held on to that position.
right, like I said, there's no sense in getting racy when the top two go. We all know, it's easy to have an accidental bump. One of you get marshaled, and once you get marshaled, you're out of the top two. So, like I said, I was racing. I felt good, even though I was so cold. But the car was good for me on that particular time. After those 3 or 4 laps, Stevens was still being aggressive, so I just decided to let it go where it was going to go.
So
Both of us
you
were
were
far enough.
intimidated.
No, I was doing a pragmatic race. Top two go. It doesn't matter if you're first or second in the B main. So
Yeah, I'm going to stick with you were intimidated. That's why you let him go. You were scared. You were scared.
Bring those results back up for a minute from that last
Yeah,
race.
of course. Absolutely.
Look at once again, I feel terrible for the guy. Bob Trout got taken out. Oh, he got taken out
Let's
of
see where Bob was running. First place.
taken out of another B main.
Yeah, so where's his laps? Down here. So I don't know, man. I wish we had some video evidence.
No, it was bad. You would not have wanted to watch it.
Yeah, I heard Casey say
Unfortunately,
something.
he was wrecked by one of the guys that was probably in, either last place or second to last place. So,
Okay. All right. Well, that's the Spectraxis Modified B Main recap. Dale was in second place on lap 14 because Rick stole it from him.
oh
But
yeah,
Dale prevails.
if you're going to lead any lap besides the last lap, it's lap 14. Some people are starting to say lap 14 is more important than the last lap. But we'll wait and see how that pans out.
It really is. At least for 2026, it is. Things change, All right, moving along. Race 6, short course late model A main. Let's see. JR, Jerome, Craig, Tyler, Jerry, James, Richard. Any thoughts before I release the results?
Back-to-back races up on that podium. It was just, I was freezing cold.
is this the race, Eric?
Isn't this the race where you played choke artist and you had the bump in the bag and you committed car recycling against the front stretch wall?
Rick, you know what to do,
honestly,
Eric,
I
in
really,
the
I really
editing.
can't remember. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
I knew, but what you know, the race started out pretty good. And I lost a little bit of control over the car, and then after that, the majority of the race, I just tried to stay out of people's way, and I think that when I start doing that, I think that just makes it that just makes it worse. I think I should just continue to race aggressively versus looking behind me and trying to pull up out of the lane, up onto the top of the track to let people pass. That I think that just causes more hassle or more problems than just staying down in the groove and trying to do the best line that I can do. That's something that I thought to myself after that race.
Did you say
I don't
self?
want to self, yeah. I don't want to get anybody's. I don't want to get in anybody's way. I don't want to unintentionally or intentionally try to wreck anybody. And especially that short course late model. That's a bruiser class. It's some fast cars and they're super big. I'm definitely just trying to improve my skill. I felt better about my day
Are you
on
writing
Saturday.
Are you writing a book? I'm falling asleep.
Hey,
Let's
this is beyond
Biggins,
beyond the
Mr. Keep It Tight.
Rick, listen.
yeah.
Eric, you know what to do. You know where I'm going with this. At
Yeah.
one point, Casey literally said, Rick, I believe you've hit every car on the track.
It's the pace car!
And like I said,
I heard it.
the first 3 laps, yeah, just once I got in a mess, and then trying to get out of the mess, I got into another mess. That's what I'm saying. After that, I just wanted to pull up off of off the main line, and I did. I didn't touch anybody.
Is
I'd
this
say
chapter 3?
for the last 20 laps, but there was still there was lots of contact that didn't involve me in that race.
Well, you started 7th. You held that position for the entire race. Extremely consistent. I'm impressed.
100% consistency.
When it comes to 7th position, yes. Let's focus on Jerome and James, the number 1 and 2 place drivers. I guess Craig Sabecki too. He took 3rd. For some reason, I was thinking it was B main, but this is the short course late model A main. Jerome wins it. James was 2 laps behind. Not a real big surprise. Jerome, I think, has some sort of spaceship in his cars. He's very fast. At 14, Jerome was in first place. He ran a 7.066 lap. Fast lap on lap 20 at 6.9. 6.9 is flying on that track. So congratulations, Jerome. Congrats, Jerome, on the victory. Not your first, not your last. Here's a class. Race 7, short course modified A main. I made the A main, but everybody did. So nothing to be proud about there for me because, like I said, this is my new car. Jerome, Frank, and Nick, JR, myself, Jerry, Michael Barnes, and Tyler. And the winner is Nick Vollmer. Congratulations, Nick. I'm glad you won. Again, I apologize about that boneheaded move I made that just annihilated you in the heat. Your dad took 2nd, Jerome 3rd, and JR 4th. JR is so fast, but he has these moments that kind of wreck his races, I've noticed. As soon as he smooths that out, I mean, and they're not all his fault, but as soon as he gets some consistency, he's going to be a problem for some of those drivers. 7-1 fast lap. Let's see what Nick ran for a fast. I'm sure he got sub 7. Yeah, 6.9. So, I mean, JR is there. He's running with the big boys. But Nick, lap 14, was in first place, started third, bumped up to second, fell back to third, back to second, back to first. And it looks like he held first for the rest of the race. So he was running strong when he needed to be. So it made me feel very good to see him win that.
Can you back out of the screen for a quick second?
Yeah.
I don't see the clock counter.
It's up here. We're recording.
Okay. I just wanted to double check.
Listen, Rick.
106. Let's keep it tight.
Normally we see a timer, and I was like, oh, I hope we
Yeah.
don't have that incident again. Okay,
No,
go
no,
back.
no.
Continue on. You can edit that
Carry
out.
on.
Mark that down.
Let's pick it up.
No. All right. So moving along. Race 8, box stock sprint A main. Ben, myself, Dennis G, Jim Rulin, Paul Rulin, no relation. Donnie the Crusher, Kruskowski, Scott Schneider, aka 40 Grit. Jim and Paul are brothers, but they're not related. They are. So, all right. This was very disappointing for me. I'll get this out of the way. My only complaint of the day is, and I'm going to say it, something happened in turn 2 of the start of the race. So I didn't even get a full lap in, and I was sent straight to the back. All I want to say about this is an A main. And I think A mains absolutely. I know we have to keep the day moving. Rick, what do we call that?
Keeping it tight.
Keeping it tight. We have to keep the day moving, but if I win 2 heats, take a second, and I'm running up front all day, and I get wiped out in turn 2 of the start of the race, and I think a couple other people were involved. I don't have the video evidence.
There was probably 5 or 6 cars in that wreck. I did speak to Dennis G out at the track yesterday when I was practicing, and he admitted that, I don't know if he said he got squeezed or something, but his car definitely lost control and ended up, I guess, causing the calamity. So yeah, I think I agree with you. If you're out there all day racing, it's one thing for a qualifier race, but when you get to the point where you're running an A main, almost like they do at Dirt Devil, they give you one free restart. And then if you can't get it on that free restart, on the third restart, it doesn't matter what happens. You just roll with it. It doesn't take that long the way we're running these now, not running a bunch of parade laps. We're just starting out in corner 3, turn 3 basically, lined up, and the leader takes off, and he can go anywhere from the exit of 4 to the middle of the front stretch. So
that's my only complaint. If you're running an A main and the start is like that, I really feel like it should be a restart. That's all.
I gave you a hot rod, though. I gave you a hot rod.
I tried. Couldn't get it on the podium, but I tried. So let's look at the results. Ben ran up front all day, so he ended up winning that. Jim came up front. Dennis took third. Paul, you were 4th. I chased Scott down a little bit at the end, but I was still a lap behind, and the Crusher was a lap behind as well. So, I mean, here's my laps. I started second, and I took the finish line in 6th position. So it's just a very frustrating start. So,
shout out Dennis G. I believe possibly his first podium at a trophy race. If not, you'll find out later he may have a double podium. So shout out to Dennis G. Excellent work.
Oh, Ben, lap 14 ran an 8.5. So his fast lap was an 8.1. So I'm going to be nosy. My fast lap was an 8.2. Paul, 8.3. Dennis, 8.1. Jim, 8-2, Scott, 8-2, Donnie, 8-1. So we're all right there. I wasn't even in the race though. I mean, I was just trying to keep it straight after all that garbage. The box stock class, once you fall that far behind, you just have to have a disaster happen in front of you for you to catch back up to compete.
Yeah.
So, but there's nothing wrong with that. It makes for fun racing. So, all right, keeping it tight, moving along. Race 9, 10 scale late model A main. Rob, Nick, Brannigan, Jerome, Craig, Chris, and Frank. That's 2 or 3 fast guys right there. You know what I'm saying? Or 7. Nick Stoller wins it. Brannigan 2nd, Rob Markle 3rd, Jerome 4th, Chris 5th, Frank, and then Craig. Let's check Nick's laps out. 6-6. God, that's hauling. 6-6, and on lap 14, he ran a 7-second lap, and he was in 2nd. After lap 14, though, Rick, he took 1st and retained it until the end of the race. A lot of significance in lap 14 in today's reviews. Street stock. I did not mention today. I got to take a moment. I took my street stock. I had some new promotion tires I wanted to try, the quick times. I glued them up, threw them on. 5 laps into practice, I pulled into the infield to adjust my controller, pulled the trigger, nothing. I lost an ESC. So I did not get to run my street stock. I did not get to run the promotion tires. I was very disappointed. I didn't bring my solder gun, which is not a huge deal. Their guys got them at the track. I did not have another ESC. The ESC, how many races did I race last year? Maybe 5 or 6 with that street stock. Maybe 7 or 8 if you count Dirt Devils at the most. I've never lost an ESC. So that's my first ESC I blew. I don't know what happened, but I went to buy one, and I did buy one, but you couldn't buy just the ESC and get it here in time for Sunday's race, which is probably not going to happen. But you could buy the combo motor ESC and have it here in time. So I have a spare motor. Don't tell my wife. So that's where we're at with Street Stock. Street Stock A main, Jerome wins it. Ben took 2nd. Tyler, Scott, Michael, Rob, and Brannigan. So Jerome, Ben, and Tyler are your top 3 podiums. Jerome with a fast lap of 7.4. Lap 14, he ran a 7.7. Not much happening on lap 14 of that race for Jerome, Rick.
He doesn't need to have much happen. He's just going to go out and win the race.
Jerome is the epitome of keep your head down and stay forward. Move forward, focus, mind your own business, bring her home. Race 11, Spec Traxxas Modified A main. Jim, Paul, no relation. Don, Dennis, Forrest, John, Dale, and Richard. Richard, any words before we look at this race? Don't write a book.
You know, I don't I don't look at those at those results or anything. I just enjoy the day. But I think if I remember correctly, I started at the back, and I thought I was working my way up through the traffic until I got taken out, and then that was the end of my day. I'm not sure, but as you look through those the placements throughout the race, I thought I was working my way up through the traffic on the race.
Well, let's look at yours first, Rick. Well, we'll show the results, and then we'll look at yours. Jim Rulin and Paul Rulin, 1-2. Paul, are you going to let your brother keep beating you?
Hey, it was a good race. It really was. I mean, we were kind of neck and neck for the majority of the race, but I'll tell you what, 100% honesty, making your way through some of the traffic is just atrocious with some of the cars that are in the back. Like when you're the leader or you're in second place and you're battling for position and you've got these guys that are racing you like they're battling you for position, but they're like in seventh or eighth place.
You're not
Just
talking about Rick, are you?
No, I wasn't.
no, I
I
was
wasn't
not.
there.
I was actually not talking about Rick. But yeah, just a little bit of courtesy goes a long way. And I will say, I'm going to throw a black flag. Throwing a black
That's a,
flag, I get one critique for the race. And my critique for the race, what race was this, Eric?
Race 11.
Race 11. My critique of the race, my black flag goes to the racers in race 10, except
Hold
for
on.
Brant.
Hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, bring it up.
Ready? Take it away.
Can you bring up race 10 real quick?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I was so busy bringing up the drum roll.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so there's race 10.
How
What do
many
you want to
cars?
look at?
How many cars were in race 10?
Looks like 7.
7 cars in race 10. When we went out to run our A main with the Traxxas / modified, I know one guy that was out there marshaling was Brannigan. I do not recall who the other guy was that was out there marshaling, but they started our A main with only 2 marshals, which to me, for an A main, is really unacceptable with 8 cars
Wreck.
on the track.
Don't
Yeah.
wreck.
Oh, you don't got to worry about me wrecking. It's the others on the track. I feel like, everybody tries to do their best. It's toward the end of the day, put your cars down, come back and marshal. I marshaled all day. I marshaled a ton of extra races because they needed volunteers. So there should just be, four marshals for pretty much every race, unless it's a race where there's literally like 3 cars on the track.
Yeah, I
Other
gotcha.
than that, good race. I'll take the second. And I believe who was third?
Dennis G.
Yep, Dennis G. There you go. There's the Dennis G shout out. I believe it was his first either single podium at a trophy race or his first double podium at a
All right,
trophy
cool.
race. So great racing by him.
Let me stop sharing because I'll touch on that a little bit. If that's true or even remotely true, what's cool about it is what I have not talked about this season, but I talked about it last season a lot. It's so cool if you're new or you see this and you want to get into RC racing. But what was so cool about being new is that even when you weren't winning, all the incremental improvements were victories. And they really were. And you get a bump up and then you get this and then you get a third place, and it's just it's just a lot of fun. I mean, it's the most fun I've had as an adult because of the variable of competition. You know what I mean? Like, I pull muscles when I sneeze. I'm not competing in anything anymore. But I can go out and compete in this, and it's very competitive. So it's a lot of fun. Back at it, keeping it tight. Sorry, Rick, I had to go off on a rant there about having fun. So Jim on lap 14 was in first place because he led start to finish. So we'll move along and keep it tight. Race 12, the Fast Boys, Mod Sprint A Main. Steve, Chris, Nick, and Bob. Chris wins. He was a second ahead of Steve. Nick took third, and Bob pulled in fourth.
That was a good
Excuse
race.
me.
Lot of lead changes.
Yes. Yep. You can see him on the chart here. Oh, Chris, let's see where Chris was at. Second place, second, first, second. He was in second place on lap 14. Takes first place on lap 21, loses it regains it back at lap 24 and keeps it till the end. I was watching that exchange, and there's just something about watching the sprint A-mains. I mean, they're just so much fun. Keeping it tight, race 13, Traxxas late model A-main. So this is the new class with the Traxxas late model body. I didn't take mine because I was racing 3 cars. You know, Paul, I raced your LOSI. I raced my new short course modified. Excuse this finger. Let's start over. I raced the LOSI, the short course modified, and my street stock ESC died. So I didn't bring my Traxxas late model. So I'm kind of regret not doing it. But Paul, you won this. You were a lap ahead of the field. Not much competition. John, I thought you two, let's look here. I thought you two, it must have been in the beginning. Yeah. You two exchanged places a couple times, but it was early on in the race. So in lap 14, you were obviously in first place.
Yes, was a good race. New car, just put the car on the track the night before. That was my first time running the car. Ben had an issue with his pinion. He originally thought that the pinion was just loose, went to retighten it, not realizing that the set screw for the pinion was stripped out. So he pulled his car at the start of the race, and I think John and I got maybe 3-4 laps in, and all of a sudden his car came out of nowhere onto the track. So Casey said he was about 30 seconds behind us. I think it'll be a good class. Forrest has one of the cars. Mark has one of the cars. You have one of the cars. So that's another 3. So there's 6 guys right there that we know of that have those cars. So hopefully this next race, everybody brings them and we can get out there and have some fun. They were very close in the heats. So
Gotcha. Well, that's another class that maybe we could run on a weeknight. We'll have to kick it around with Steve. I know Steve doesn't have the time to do it. So someone would have to sort of run the system. We'll figure that out later, but we'll see how that goes. Moving along, 14th and final race of the day, the Navi, not the novice, the Navi A-main.
Navi class.
Novie. Donald, Dominic, Noah, Rulin, no relation to Jim or Paul, and Luca. Just kidding. Noah is Jim's boy. That's our novice class. That was good to see a novice class going. Donald wins it. Dominic took
congrats to him. I think that was his first podium in a trophy race.
Was it?
I believe so, yeah.
So Donald wins it. Dominic takes second. Luca third. Noah fourth. Noah, he clocks 26 laps, so he's not that far. I mean, a little bit of practice, he'll be right there.
Oh, yeah. Good job by Craig's son, too. He's running that car good, and he could bump up and run with us because he's got that slash modified with the dirt late model body. So who knows? Maybe in another race or two, he might be up running with us in that class.
Yeah, I'm sure he will be. So
and I think
there
Luca
it is.
Was brand new. I don't think they had raced there before. So
yeah, I didn't recognize him. Not sure who they were, but it was good to see him out there. So that's it, Rick. You made it.
Yeah, a good time. Hopefully Sunday we'll get a little bit better in the next few days.
Well, we'll see. If it doesn't, you can always get online and do some practice racing. Why are you laughing at that? I have computer racing.
I'm not passing any judgment. That's all right. I got my training regimen. I get on the trainer and do some other things to try to get in shape for the race day.
Me too. I'm going to go to Rudy's tomorrow. Tomorrow is tomorrow's Weenie Wednesday, $2 hot dogs for a couple more weeks till the end of April. Get out to Rudy's, get a $2 hot dog. I usually get 2. Rick, I know you're going to find that hard to believe.
That's a sweet spot.
Yeah,
Two's a
just
sweet
one
spot.
chili dog isn't enough. So, Weenie Wednesday at your local Rudy's. Check them out. Support the local businesses, and they support us. So we appreciate it. So that's it, guys. I don't have anything else unless you want to touch base on upcoming schedules. But really, the big one is the 30th, and I had that pulled up, but somewhere it disappeared.
Yep, and then we've just got the first trophy race of the Oval Series for TARCAR Sunday, weather permitting.
Yeah, let me pull this up quick. All right, share. All right, the Great Lakes Shootout. The next race is at the Crater. I'm not going. I wanted to go to the Crater this year, but I was not ready to race this series. There's a couple guys that go up to that, so we'll try to get in touch with them, and maybe we can get some correspondence with them and get some race reports from them and talk about the race at the Crater. But the GLLS, the next race is at the Crater on the 25th, and then it's in Toledo at TARCAR May 30th. So that's all I wanted to touch on before we say goodnight. Rick, the audience wants to know, since your podcast outfit looks like pajamas, I'm getting lots of questions over here on the side. They want to know, are your bottoms matching your tops?
Like I said, the ladies from Pins and Needles Sewing Club, Edna and Cinnamon with an S. I appreciate the outfit. As far as what's going on below, that's a pay per view situation. So
Do you have an OnlyFans?
I was going to say, so the people that haven't already subscribed to my OnlyFans, go ahead and click on the link, and I'd be more than happy to.
Well, I'll make sure the link gets published. All right, Rick. You have a good night. Appreciate your time. Paul and I are going to hit the after show. Oh, bye.
In typical Biggins fashion.
He always ends with a bang.
Hang on. That was my best Biggins impression of right in the middle of the show, just giant big yawn, like you're happy to be here. I think the only member of Rick's, the only subscriber of Rick's OnlyFans is probably RGB Racing's only fan from this race.
Yeah. So, no, it was a decent show. You had some good announcements. Kept it moving so-so. Didn't get a lot of planning into this episode, but we got some stuff coming up. I did get a hold of Chris. He hasn't answered me. If we can't get him in this episode, we'll hit him up and squeeze him in the next episode. And again, that's referring to the video he put out about tracks and people and some other things. So
yeah, maybe you ought to share that video so that everybody can see it.
I can do that.
And then you could share it maybe at the end of this episode, and then say we're going to have him on and we're going to talk about it in a future episode.
I will. I marked it. I'll put a link. It'll be easier to put a link in there, and people can watch it. That way, when we interview them, they'll know. It'll be a good segue. So, all right, man. Cool. We got the big announcement. I'll try to get a short out tonight regarding the trophies so we can get some LOSI sprint drivers from outside the area.
Excellent. And then we'll get like a little graphic for the GLSS to post on their page, sooner rather than later, just so people can see that, hey, we're going to run this class at TARCAR, and maybe they'll come down. They're going to run LOSI sprint style at Crater.
I'll put together I'll do a Chat GPT poster.
There you go.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
All right. Later.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.